the stories that we have learned over time that has not been told. And it needs to be revealed. Our story needs to be revealed and needs to be remembered. I remember a quote one time from a movie I saw that said, if you destroy our history, if you destroy everything about who we are, it's as if we never existed in the first place. And that is what America has tried to do to us. So this story that we're talking about today is a story of remembrance. It is a remembrance of history. It is a remembrance of family. It is a remembrance of people. And so we come here in that positive way. I want to thank Senator Bronstein. I want to thank Senator Lou. I want to thank Senator Adamo. And they asked me, say, well, we're sorry, other people need to. I don't want those people who want to be here to be here. If you don't want to be here, that's your loss. But I also want to thank all the people associated with the Maple Grove Cemetery process. I don't know your names by heart. I know Helen is one of the anthropologists. I know Paul, is that right? Paul there, and I know the president of the Maple Grove Cemetery is here. He's a big guy, so don't pick on him a little bit. The big guys don't like to come around. Okay, so, and if I missed the name, Cecilia, Nicole, all of you are so powerful, but it began with my cousin here, Donna, who told me, hey, Carlisle has mislabeled these boys. That's how it began. And I go, what? What do you mean mislabeled? They go, oh, they got a name, a different nation, different tribe. So, well, we'll fix that. We called Carlisle and said, hey, fix that. And he did. They fixed it. We showed them the evidence, they fixed it. Because these guys are too close to us. These guys start out, they are my great-grandfather's first cousins. Their parents were brother and sister. And these are not strangers to us. My family knew these people, knew these boys. Right? And she had 14 children, so my grandmother had 12, so they were in competition. I guess, I don't know, 12 or 13. So in those days, you had lots of kids, right? You had lots of families. So the thing about it is, the devastating part of the story that we remember is that we know they were not honored in the traditional way. And that's why we're here today. We're here today to pay our respects and honor these children. And they're not just 2 kids. They're 6 kids. 5 of which are buried here. Ida, Juanita, Lydia, and Harry and Shaw. And Harriet is buried in a different location, right? But of all those experience that the 2 boys had in Carlisle Indian Industrial School, they both were contracted debilitating and in those days deadly diseases known as tuberculosis and diphtheria. And they came home. I was talking to a fellow here today, and I said, how does a 13-year-old boy get home, run away from school, and travel Carlisle's like about 300 miles from Queens? How does he get that way? He don't even take an Uber. There weren't any buses going around at that time. Probably a train, or most likely, they didn't do much hitchhiking in 1899. I don't think so. Most likely he was 13 years old. And Harry, even though he was 11 at the time, or 9, they sent him home a year later. They knew he was going to die, and that is the history of a lot of these schools, is that if they knew these kids were going to die, they sent them home to die. The problem was, it affected everyone who was coming. So all of those other children who suffered the same diseases, because they were given to them by their sisters. So we know today that it is a powerful opportunity for us to pray, offer the tobacco of prayer, offer the song of prayer, offer the ceremony of remembrance, to remember the history of these family members. And we thank the organizations that are responsible for putting up a symbol of remembrance, a headstones, and all of those things. And the beauty of the headstone, I want to mention that too before we go down there, is that it was designed, and the people who are involved with that, I can't remember the name of that. Who is the people involved?
Shasta Memorial?
Shasta Memorial. We want to bring them, remember them too, because they help with that. We put on these stones, first of all, the symbol of the Unkechaug Nation symbol, that is part of the vision of our former chief, Donna, which has the turtle, a political turtle, and the best elements of the four directions in it. But we also put in our language. We also put, world of monk, patron, Christian. World of monk, patron, Christian. What does that mean? It means bless our cousins. And that's who they are. They are our cousins. That's who they were when they died, and that's who they are. And so we put that on their headstone so that we know in remembrance. And there's two of them. One we have to be reflecting Charles and Harry and Juanita, buried in one plot, and Ida and Lydia buried in the next. Out of the 6 children, 5 are buried here at Maple Grove. So, my voice is big. They can hear me. Anybody not hearing me? Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me now? All right. Okay, so basically then I just wanted to make sure I thank everybody, and if I left you out, it's not because I was being rude. We have the chiefs, 2 chiefs here from the Matinecock Nation, Reggie Martin and the Wolf Pine Chief, and we have Richard Martin and Reggie of the Turtle Pine Chief that are here. Please stand up and our people honor you there as well. We have Juanita, who is the widow of the former chief, Osceola Townsend, Iban. And I want to, just before we turn it over to Assemblyman Blanchard to give us a few words, I want to bring Donna up there. Come on up there, Donna. Come on up there. She calls me up every time she wants me to. She only talks to me when she wants me to do something. I said, if she loves me, I know that. I know, but she said, I got a problem. I said, I'm here to fix that problem. I said, but she has been a part of all of this from the outset. And when she gets mad, she sends me an email. So when she's really pissed, she sends me a text. So hopefully I don't get no text, right? But yes, what I want is to have her just say, always, Donna is about remembering. She is about remembering our stories, our family, our people, our land, our nation, and our home. And she's about all of that. And I want her to say a few words, and I'll hold them at the front door. I left out to you.
I wanted to make mention because they did, make a very good effort to down with the hurricane. We didn't mention Anna as well. Charles and Harry has a sister who we left out, Emma, and she's buried here with her husband. And the cemetery kindly put her name and address onto the grave. So now all the children's names are displayed in the cemetery. And I just want to say a special thank you to Helen, because I couldn't find, one of my cousins couldn't find Emma's daughter Rebecca. And we were looking and searching and we just couldn't find her. And Helen did her magic and she found Rebecca first. Unfortunately, she's not buried here. She's buried with her husband in the military cemetery. And she gives us great hope in finding the boy's name. And one more person who would thank Stevie Barney, where are you? Our cousin Stevie Barney. If it wasn't for him handing me that newspaper article and seeing was correct, we would have never known about the band. So when he handed me that, that's when I was about the article and looked at his voice, and he found it. So, now, her story was a very sad story, but today is about celebrating and forgetting about the past and how sad it was, and just remembering them and remembering what we did.
That's it? There's always something else. I can't wait for the next email. So, again, I want to thank you all, Tabuga Anawaya, for the opportunity to give us the opportunity to come here and do this remembrance in a sacred way. And I'll turn the mic back over to Nicole. And thank you all.
I'd like to invite from Maple Grove Cemetery, Ellen Day, Carl Delanas, and Philip Rasmussen. They have a few words to share with us.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Maple Grove. My name is Philip Rasmussen. I'm the president of Maple Grove. On behalf of Maple Grove Cemetery, it is both an honor and a profound responsibility to welcome you here today. We stand together on this hallowed ground to bear witness, to listen, and to remember. Today we join the Unkechaug and Matinecock Nations with the support of the Shinnecock, Montaukett, and Seatocket Nations in restoring the names of two young brothers whose stories were nearly lost to time, Charles Edward Jones and Harry Jefferson Jones.
For 125 years, their resting place lay unmarked. Their voices quiet beneath the earth. Yet love endures, truth endures, and the determination of a community endures even longer. Through the extraordinary work of Donna, Gentle Spirit Barron, and through the steadfast commitment of the Douglaston and Little Neck Historical Society, and through the united strength of the nations gathered here today, these boys are no longer hidden. Their names rise again, like light, returning after a long night.
At Maple Grove, we believe life deserves to be known, remembered, and spoken aloud. It is our privilege and our solemn duty to help restore that dignity. We are deeply humbled to stand beside the families and the nations as partners in healing, remembrance, and truth-telling.
The story of Charles and Harry is not an easy one. It echoes the sorrow of children taken from their home, from their people, and from their heritage during the era of the Carlisle Indian Industrial School. Their early deaths speak to a quiet grief carried by generations. But today we answer that history, not with silence, but with ceremony, with community, and with love.
May this unveiling symbolize more than stone. May it stand as a testament to resilience. May it honor their family whose strength spans centuries. And may it remind us that healing begins when we gather, when we name, when we listen.
Maple Grove stands with you today and always. We are grateful for your trust, your presence, and your partnership. May this be a day of peace, of memory, and of forward movement together. May these young brothers and the other members of their family resting here at Maple Grove Cemetery rest now in the full light of remembrance.
I just wanted to mention that we have Jason Antos, who is newly named as the historian of the Borough of Queens. He's here.
Thank you so much. I would like to next invite New York State Assemblyman Ed Bronstein to come and speak on
Thank you very much. First of all, it's an honor to be here for this recognition today. And I want to thank everybody involved. There was a lot of work, right? But it's important, first and foremost, to provide dignity to the families, provide some sense of healing, even if it's 125 years too late. And it's important part of remembrance. And the Chief, you were talking earlier about the importance of telling the truth, right? It's important that even when it's uncomfortable, that we tell history like it is. And, you know, it's interesting to me, in my house and my family, we were watching the Ken Burns documentary about the American Revolution. And, you know, I go on social media and there's people complaining that it talks too much about the Native American story and it focuses too much on slavery, right? And I was talking about it with my wife and it's like, that's crazy. That's crazy that people could think that way. But it's important that we push back, and it's important that we continue to tell the truth. Interestingly enough, we're remembering Harry and Charles Edward today. I just think it's interesting. My firstborn son, his name is Charles Edward. So your ancestors have good choices of names. And I just want to let you know, and everybody involved here, I agree with what was said at the beginning, the mission of what was the truth, restoration, and remembrance. I'm 100% on board with your mission, and I want to let you know that you have an ally in government, and to always reach out so I can help with that mission. So thank you very much. It's an honor to come up.
I would like to invite next Senator John Liu.
Thank you, Nicole. I'm the less well-dressed version of Edward Bronstein. He said it so well, actually, that in this day and age, it's just unbelievable what we are seeing, first in social media and now in some publications that used to be, or at least in my opinion, used to be media of record. And so now more than ever do we have to stay true to history and the truth, and not ever forget, and make sure our next generations, or many generations to come, understand how we all got to this point. So the fact that we are now putting Charles and Harry back, their names on the headstones, on their graves, like has already been said, better late than never, but it's being done. And I think the summary number of Bronstein alluded to the fact that, there could be many others out there. In fact, in all likelihood, there are many others that we need to restore the memories of. So I'm honored always to join Chief Wallace. Thank you, Donna, for your incredible work. And thanks to all of our other historians, including Paul, he's old enough to be history of himself. Sorry, Paul. Paul Benedetto, Bayside Historical Society. Jason, our new historian in Queens, he's actually still a pretty young man, but he certainly carries all the history. And we'll make sure that he continues to make Queens history a centerpiece for everybody to understand. And also thanks very much to Cecilia Venosta, legal, my supervisor. She tells me when and where to be at places. Thank you very much. This is a very special event, and may there be many, many more. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your very thoughtful and poignant words. I would invite us all to gather our things, to walk over to the headstones for the unveiling and the ceremony. Long awaited ceremony. Thank you.